football world, football lads world, football hooligan world, football casuals world. Once again, you already know who it is. Derek Diablo, Diablo TV, like and subscribe, do the things you're supposed to do. And I'm gonna keep it on Scotland lads. Thing about it is, there's a particular group that I ain't mentioned yet. They deserve to be talked about. Now I'll leave it up to you to say what you think. I'm gonna tell you what I think. None other than Dundee. Ooh, now the thing about Dundee is interesting to me is, and you know, I'm sure everybody knows this already if you're in UK, but Americans don't know this. So, two football teams, their stadiums right next to each other. They're both Dundee, same city. Dundee FC or just Dundee, and Dundee United, right? So their stadiums right next to each other. So the two firms, they got firms on both sides. Now, how much do they fight each other? They come together as a Dundee utility. And that's what I believe the Miami and the Orlando was supposed to be, the Florida utility, but these guys didn't get the picture, to get the message. These guys, some of these other chaps around here, I'd see if I tune them into it, you know what I mean? But the Dundee utility is both coming together. And what is the history of them fighting each other? I want to know in the comments. You talk about that. Do they fight each other and also then fight everybody else? Interesting. But as far as where does Dundee belong in the rankings of the leagues, of divisions, of hooligans of Scotland? Now, according to the divisions I've been making, I would think they fall in the 3rd division, I think, right? Or the 2nd division in a casual scene, come from Aberdeen and Motherwell. As far as who I'm mainly friends with in Scotland, as it comes out right now, Hibs CCS is the best. You know what I'm talking about? So Hibs, Motherwell, that's mainly who I've become friends with. I'm friends with some other lads and stuff. But honestly, when I go to Scotland, you know, Glasgow's one thing, everybody knows about Glasgow, mate. But I want to go to the capital city, Edinburgh. That's the best to me. So I'm looking for the CCS and the Motherwell SS Saturday service. And on the Motherwell SS Saturday service, that book by Stanley Smith, brilliant book that they sent to me. I love it. And it's very informative. It's the best reference book of hooliganism, I think. It shows a lot of pictures. And I looked into that. And their entry on Dundee, they got two. They got one from the 80s and one from the 2000s. By the 80s, Dundee didn't even have a mob yet. That's what it looked like. You know what I mean? Nobody came out. It was just Aberdeen and Motherwell at this point, it looked like. And then eventually they came back in the 2000s and they didn't have much to say in that book. Stanley, it didn't look like they rated Dundee at all. But I've heard about Dundee, and I respect Dundee. In the comments below, tell me what you think and what's interesting about it. So you got a Dundee FC, Dundee, and their firms, Dundee Soccer Crew and the HILLTOWN HUNS. Thing about, you never heard me say HUNS before. HUNS is a derogatory term for Scottish people. You don't call them that. It's a derogatory term. It's a slang. It's a slur. You know what I mean? I call them jocks. Jock, you could call. My mate is called Jock. You know what I mean? So then the Dundee United, the Tenadis Trendies and the Shimmy, name of a gang, name of a firm, the Shimmy. All right, and obviously they come together as a Dundee utility crew, utility thugs. Also here the Alliance Under Fives. So you tell me in the comments below, Dundee utility. What's the word?